Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Week 10 Vegas spread picks. And I got to say something about week 9. I take full responsibility, and there's going to be bad weeks. But I apologize for not making it clear that week 9 was an absolute trap and it was a hit job. There's no other words for it. I pretty much said as much on Patreon Friday night, but we will get back on track. Let's get this money. And I'm going to be honest, this week 10 is the most confident I felt going into a week. I'm digging a trench this week. You can follow me or you don't need to. I'm digging this trench, and it's life or death for me this week. I'm going to get this money this week. Let's get to the first game. We're going to Germany. We got the Seattle Seahawks at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Seahawks are plus 2.5. I'm going Seahawks to win in the cover begrudgingly, and maybe I should even be betting this game. And we got to give Geno Smith credit. The dude's been a top 5 quarterback in the league this year if we're just looking at film and not looking at hype. And it almost surprises me to say this. And I wasn't all that impressed by the BUCS last week against the Rams. And it was nice seeing a little bit of Brady magic. It was nice seeing the BUCS defense have a complete game again, but they got a little bit of ref ball. The Rams are absolute garbage. And I don't think this equals the BUCS responding in Germany. I'm going Seattle. I think Seattle runs the ball better. BUCS can't run it for more than 2 or 3 inches every single play. I'm going Seattle to win in the cover. Next game, we got the Jacksonville Jags at the Kansas City Chiefs. Jags are plus 9.5. I'm going Chiefs to win in the cover. I assume I'm going to be against the grain on this, and I love the Jags more than everyone. This has been a Jags podcast for the 3 years, but I think the Chiefs win this game. And one thing that always worries me and complicates me about this Jags team is they can't cover anyone. And when you look at this defensive line, I'm always left scratching my head thinking, why isn't this defensive line getting home? Why aren't these dogs getting a pass rush consistently? And it was all cute and good how they came back on the Raiders, but that first half is sticking in my mind. Matt Ryan throwing for damn near 400 yards sticks in my mind. I think Mahomes has a big day. I think he cooks. I think people are going to overreact and not give the Titans the credit they deserve on that Sunday night game. Chiefs winning the cover. I wanted to make it a money pick, but I'm not going that far. Next game, we got the Dallas Cowboys, them boys, at the Green Bay Packers. Cowboys are -5. Money, money, money. Money, Cowboys to win in the cover. Get this in before it gets up. This could get up to 6.5, 7. The way this is going, I think it opened at like 4. Could be wrong. But when I look at this game, I think the Packers are a little bit soft on defense. And Rashawn Gary hurt. Aaron Jones looks like he's going to miss this game. It just feels like the Packers are walking into a storm that they're not going to be able to survive. And it seems like the boat's going to go down, man. And this Cowboys running attack, and I know everyone doesn't like Zeke Elliott. They all like Pollard. But that 1-2 punch, I think it's just going to be way too much for the Packers, and I love the Packers secondary, but Stokes is going to be out. And when we look at this Cowboys defense, we look at a Packers offense that can't beat man-to-man. They don't have the dogs to do it, and if there's any team that will get in your face, jam your routes, play aggressive man-to-man, it's the Dallas Cowboys. This Dallas Cowboys defense is no joke. It's probably the best in the league. Cowboys to win in the cover, make it a money pick. Next game, we got the Atlanta Falcons Thursday night at the Carolina Panthers. Falcons are -3. Falcons winning the cover. If I had more cojones, and this year was a little bit more predictable. This would be a money pick. Cordero Patterson back adds something to the Falcons. I think he's a top 5 running back in this league. People have called me crazy. Last week against the Chargers kind of cements my point and how much he adds in the passing game. And this Panthers team got absolutely destroyed by Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon sucks. And listen, if you let Joe Mixon go off for over like 120 on you, there's some structural problems. I think Walker struggles. I think they even might go back to Baker. But Atlanta's going to run this rock, and this Atlanta defense will play better than the first meeting. Don't let this first meeting cloud your judgment. The NFL has been so unpredictable. Sometimes we jump to overreactions. Give me Atlanta to win and to cover Thursday Night Football. Next game, we're going to the Meadowlands. We got the Houston Texans at the New York Giants. Texans are plus 6.5. Texans to cover, Giants to win. I really like the Texans to cover this game. And when I look at the Texans team, this is a team that will run the rock. And that's one thing you should do against the Giants defense, because their blitz schemes are elaborate and dangerous. And can I be honest about something? I just don't think the Giants should be laying 6.5, 7 points to anyone. This might move up to 7. I saw it was on some books at 7. I mean, if you like the Texans, this is one maybe you should consider betting. The Texans defense played better against the Eagles. We got to give them a little bit of credit. And I just think this Giants team, they pull rabbits out of the hat. Dayball's been phenomenal in the second half. But at a certain point, doesn't the magic, doesn't the pixie dust have to wear off just a wee bit? Texans cover, Giants win by a field goal. Next game, we got the Detroit Lions, Dan Campbell at the Chicago Bears, the Bears. Detroit plus 3, Detroit to win in the cover. I had him on the upset trail last week against the Packers. I'm going again, and listen, we've liked what Justin Fields has been doing. He's been coming through with us. He covered last week. He covered against the Patriots. Justin Fields been amazing, but I think this Detroit offense will wake up. I think this Bears defense might be evolving into the worst defense in the league, taking Detroit's place. Like, I absolutely love the over in this game. If you're going to dabble in this game, go with the over. But I think Detroit finds a way to win this game. There isn't a lot of science. It really just comes down to the health of the Detroit Lions. And one thing about Justin Fields, one thing people are forgetting, he's doing this with the worst supporting cast in the NFL on offense. So I really like what he's doing, but I think Detroit runs the ball better in this game, which is a big surprise. Detroit winning the cover. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the videos. The best gambling show on the internet. Lawson Bets NFL on Instagram. Follow your boy. Next game, we got the New Orleans Saints at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Saints are minus 2.5. Money. Saints to win in the cover. Listen, that performance was absolutely dreadful on Monday night against the Ravens. I know a lot of people got caught up in that, and I know a lot of people lost money on that game. And I understand the hesitancy here, but we need to remember how bad the Steelers team is. Yes, the Steelers are a well-coached team with Tomlin, but that offense isn't well-coached, and Kenny Pickett is really, really struggling. And yes, there should be some good matchups for Pittsburgh's wide receivers, but you know, they got good matchups every week and nothing comes to fruition. And with the Saints team, they've been inconsistent this whole year. They were terrible against the Ravens. I think they play better. Going into Heinz Field is no joke, but I'm digging this trench with the Saints. Give me the Saints to win in the cover. There isn't a hell of a lot of science, to be quite honest. Next game, we got the Minnesota Vikings, Kirk Cousins, at the Buffalo Bills. Vikings are plus 6.5. Vikings to cover, Bills to win. I know some people are getting nervous about this Josh Allen injury. I don't know where I stand on it because there is a lot of emotion involved. But the Vikings just find a way to stay in games. They find a way to make games one-score games in the fourth quarter. And Kevin O'Connell gives this team enough vibe, enough grit to be able to win these close games. And I'm not saying the Vikings are going to win this game, but the Bills have an awful lot of vulnerabilities. Gabe Davis might be the most overrated receiver in this league. And outside of Stephon Diggs, who's really getting separation in that Bills wide receiving and tight end core? Who is? It's really, really overrated, and it's Josh Allen carrying everything. I just think the Vikings secondary, even though they're really, really bad, you see some plays out of Harrison Smith, and he kept them in the game against the Commodores or Commanders. Randy Moss's mistake. I know Kirk was absolutely terrible against the Commanders, but I think the Vikings are able to run the ball this game, and that's one thing I want to see exploited against the Bills. The Jets were able to do it. I think the Vikings can get it with Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook over on the player props. Vikings cover, Bills win. Next game, we're going to Nashville. We got the Denver Broncos at the Tennessee Titans. Titans are -3. Money. Titans to win in the cover. Borderline money pick. Be careful with this one. I would like to see Ryan Tannehill healthy for this game, to be completely honest. But you got to weigh this game in your head. Broncos got an awesome defense. They might have the best pass coverage unit in the league. But for me, I think you can run the rock on them. And, you know, if you're playing the Titans, if King Henry's stepping on the field, the last thing you want to be worrying about is your run fits and your run defense. I think the Titans run it for over 150 here. And then on the other side of the ball, I know bye weeks help, you know, especially first-year coach. You get to install some more stuff. But are you guys really trusting Nathaniel Hackett and Russell America Wilson to play more consistent? I'm not getting excited about them beating the Jags in London. Excuse me. I don't think there's going to be some sort of renaissance there. I think trading Chubb is going to have some consequences for the pass rush. I just don't think the Broncos do a hell of a lot on the offensive side of the ball. Titans win in an absolute grinder of a game. Next game, we're going to Miami. We got the Cleveland Browns at the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins are -4. I'm going opposite of everyone else. Dolphins winning the cover. And the Browns have won us so much money over the past 3 years. I think some of us are stuck in the old days, and we want to go Browns with the points because it's been so lucrative and it's helped pad our bank accounts. But for me, I'm looking at a Dolphins team that's simply more explosive. Now, when we think about the Dolphins, I worry about their run D. And Nick Chubb isn't the guy you want to be playing. But I think the Dolphins get to the 30s here. And it will turn into somewhat of a shootout. And I just don't trust Jacoby Brissett and this Browns secondary in a shootout. Now, we could be seeing Denzel Ward back, but the man suffered 2 or 3 concussions in the last few weeks. I don't think he's going to be back out there. I think the Dolphins take advantage of it. And we know the Browns don't play a lot of man-to-man, and that's where the Dolphins really cut. But Tua is getting more comfortable game by game. Dolphins to win in the cover with the 4. I would not bet this, but I think the Miami Heat will play a factor in this game. Next game, we got the Indianapolis Colts at the Las Vegas Raiders. Vegas is -6. I'm going Vegas to win in the cover. But this is like one of the worst games of the year. This Vegas team has been so frustrating. I think they blew 3 or 4 17-0 leads. Correct me if I'm wrong, Raiders fans, but they've been absolutely pathetic. And look at what the Colts are doing, hiring Jeff Saturday from ESPN as interim coach. But I'm worried about this Colts offense. Sam Ehlinger was absolutely terrible against the Patriots. That defense actually put up a valiant effort. But listen, Vegas has to air it out. And I know you want to stay with Josh Jacobs, but that's what cost them the game against the Jags. I think Vegas airs it out more. They throw it 40 to 45 times, and I think that's enough to beat the Colts by a touchdown. But please do not bet this game, even though the Colts are more of a dumpster fire than the Raiders. I'm starting to have serious questions about Josh McDaniels. Next game, Sunday Night Football. We got the Los Angeles Chargers at the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers are -7. Money. San Fran wins and covers. I know the -7 is a lot. On Patreon, I almost put this in early on Sunday when I saw the 49ers were -4.5. But this is a game I think it could even move up. I don't think Keenan Allen plays. Mike Williams certainly isn't playing. But I think the 49ers are hitting their stride at the right time. And when it comes to November football, we got to pick a team to ride. And for me, I'm getting on this 49ers avalanche. I'm sitting on the back of this caboose, and I'm riding it. If it sinks me, it sinks me. But I think they win this game by double digits. I just saw a lot of fragilities in this Chargers defense. They got great players. Derwin James is the biggest dog of the NFL, but you can run it on them. And you know, when you're having run defensive issues, San Fran is the last team you want to see. And also, I don't know if there's a worse offensive coordinator in this league than Joe Lombardi, and I've never really liked Brandon Staley. This team just seems to have, you know, not the gritty California, Torrance, California vibe. They have more of like the Macchiato, Laguna Beach type vibe, and that's the wrong way to go with the 49ers. 49ers winning the cover, make it a damn money pick. Next game, staying out west in the desert, we got the Arizona Cardinals. Call of Duty at the Los Angeles Rams. Rams -3. You guys can have a better take on this game maybe than me. I'm done with the Cardinals. I'm going Rams to win in the cover. Jalen Ramsey on DeAndre Hopkins. You got to think that will be worth something for the Rams. And this Rams offense has been absolutely shambolic. Offensive line has been absolutely disorganized, and I've been really worried about it. That's why I picked the Buccaneers last week. There was no science. I just don't like the Rams offensive line. But when I look at this game, I just think the Cardinals are done, man. And I don't think McVay loses his locker room, but we know Cliff can easily lose that Arizona Cardinals locker room. But Rams got to run the ball better. And I don't want to see Stafford throwing 40 times against Arizona's blitz. That's not a good recipe. Rams run the rock better. Rams -3 to win in the cover. Please do not bet this game. Next game, we got the Washington No-Names at the Philadelphia Eagles. No-Names are +11 on Monday Night Football. Eagles first half, I say it every week. It's been lucrative for us. It didn't hit against the Texans, but I'm going on that bandwagon until it stops. And I think the No-Names cover the 11. Eagles win. Listen, the Eagles, they were great in the second half against the Texans, but normally the trend is they get up 14-17 in the first half and take the gas pedal off in the mid-third, fourth quarter. Heineke's going to fight, but this man cannot sustain anything. He can hit the trick play 1 or 2 times with referee help. If you saw against my Vikings, that cheese that he got. But when I'm looking at this game, I just think the No-Names, they'll come to battle. They'll get some late garbage time points. Think of a la when the Packers covered late against the Buffalo Bills. Give me the No-Names to cover, Eagles to win. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the videos. Thank you for all the support. You guys are really supporting me great, and I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I hope you all have a great and prosperous week 10. Slam that like button.